Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie, nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. Poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. Że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej. By być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze, co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.
Witamy wszystkich na 423 warsztatach poszukiwaczy wiedzy w języku polskim. Dzisiaj mamy niedzielę, 13 grudnia 2000 roku. I tematem jest kontynuacja 357 warsztatu poszukiwaczy wiedzy. I czas na dzisiaj przetłumaczony jest od 2 godzin 31 minut do 3 godzin 6 minut 36 sekund. Od 3 godzin 8 minut do 3:32. Tutaj jest 2 minuty przerwy w tym fragmencie. I ostatni fragment od 3 godzin 58 do 4 godzin 1 minuty i 10 sekund. Po warsztacie zapraszam do rozmów, zadawania pytań, na które postaramy się odpowiedzieć wspólnie. A teraz zapraszam do wysłuchania, obejrzenia.
Thank you very much, Rick. What I would like to extend into the knowledge is as we're becoming man of space and as we're becoming more expert in understanding the work of the universe. There are a number of things that the knowledge seekers have to understand, and knowledge seekers need to understand into the addition of the work of the Keshe Foundation. As I said in the American teaching and other teachings in past week or two, and I'm emphasizing more and more, is many of you have built all these reactors, and you stood the work of what I call a star formation. In the shape, if you understand, each one has made its own star formation. That's one base, and the three bases of the fields that you need in different levels to create the manifestation of the field, to become tangible. In a way, what I see and what we're trying to get you to understand and further develop is this, that forget about what we call the physical system and concentrate on the field. This is what the next generation of the work has to be. In a way that the interaction of the field has to be considered and not the motors and reactors. This is where the next step in understanding the work of the universal physics come into operation, where we don't look at the tangibility, we look at the field forces effect. We don't look that we have against it. We create a condition that the fields of the universe become interactive in a condition and a position that we want. In a way, as part of the new teaching, as you saw in the ball rotating around an imaginary center to show its position, that imaginary center has to become the soul of the man. The soul of the physicality deciding if it wants to put its field strength to manifest for us to see the reactors. Not by building reactors to show the manifestation of a system. The knowledge of the knowledge seekers has to become part of understanding the creation of the fields, absorption of the fields, separation of the field, division of the fields, through the use of the interaction of the field of the soul of the man and the soul of the physicality. The way the interaction of the fields of the earth and the sun creates the daylight and gives different light in different positions and angles. The soul of the man and the soul of physicality of the man has to understand this, that it creates the same. In interaction of different field strength in different angles, it creates different matter condition of the manifestation if they wish. The way that the field of the sun and the earth in a given angle creates the trees and in another angle creates the shrubs, and in another angle, in another part of the world, creates another tree and a different shrub. So now we understand that the knowledge has to extend into the dimension of fields, that through it, if we wish, we can create the matter state or manifestation state without the matter. We know that this exists as we create gases which are not in a matter state, but in a condensed plasma condition, that we see and absorb and observe them as plasmas in motion. Only when you bring the fourth state of field as an inertia, which you come to touch, then the gas manifests itself in a matter state. Before that is in the state of plasma. And it is the way that many of you, many of the knowledge seekers have to start working without existence of the matters. The way I said before, you put your hand out and you wish gold, you wish an apple. The emotion of the apple is registered within your brain. The soul of the man, through the eye of the man, sees the object, and through the dimension of the soul of the physicality, creates the apple in the hand of the man. The knowledge seekers, running of the magraphs, running of the dynamic motors, running of the everything else using matter state, has to stop. Now that you have seen the effects of the field and interaction of the field. Create systems, develop systems that only creates fields and no matter state, and uses no matter state. You can use a matter state conditions to create fields, and with it to create a soul, that the emotion of the man through that soul, through the emotion of the feeling of the soul of the man, that matter state or condition can be created. In so many ways, in the coming time, as you become more expert, as many knowledge seekers are gradually going through the phase of understanding the power of the soul, when you put the picture of Eiffel Tower in front of you, through the emotion and understanding of the transmutation of the elements of the fields of the existence, you can manifest yourself at any position on the Eiffel Tower. There is no need for a jumbo jet. There is no need to get a bus to get there. The condition of, as I explained in the teaching of Tuesday, this is within the writing of the prophet, that the maturity of the man will come when he can understand and achieve transmutation of the elements. With a new teaching, we have taken the man to the furthest step in knowledge, that when he understands the transmutation of the fields, which lead to the creation of the elements, or positions and structures or manifestation. The totality of Keshe Foundation knowledge seekers has to move away from building and building and building dynamic reactors and everything else to see something happens. You have to understand the interaction of the fields of what you do. Then you can stand for man and still achieve the star formation in connecting their souls and take flight to the planet, solar system, mountain, and anything else. I explained something why a family of four, a father, a mother, a son, and a daughter, is one of the best flight systems and balance systems ever created. You have four souls which are connected at source in creation and emotion, and now you can use it to create the star formation of the travel to where the four souls want to be. Now you understand. Doesn't need a dynamic reactor. It needs the essence of the creation of the fields, interaction of the soul of the man to achieve this. Maybe only mankind become mature when he understands this, where you exchange the reactors with the soul of the man, which in the essence is a dynamic system itself. The principle, movement and motion and teaching is moving you knowledge seekers from this mayhem and step of macro system and dynamic system. We brought you these for you to be able to confirm existence of the fields. We did not bring these for you to become attached to and get bogged down in how the mixture inside them will do things for the physical. When you can create the mixtures inside them, create the fields, and then remove these systems and see the effect is still existing, then you have moved to the next level of understanding of the technology and science. The next level for the knowledge seekers is to create environment where the fields can be sustained and fields can be shown that in a control through the emotion of the essence of the soul of the man, man can replicate anything in one position. In the Keshe Foundation Research Center, we have built such a condition to show, where you might call it three-dimensional, where you might say is transmutation, but in the new system, which we will show in the coming time, we can create the holographic soul of the man, not the physicality of the man. That through that, we create the continuation of the physical dimension if we need to. What I promise you to bring the fish tank to show, that tank is already taking shape in the research center in Keshe Foundation. In time, and by intuition and understanding that the process by the knowledge seekers, then we show the fish tank. And I promise you one thing, you want to see the soul of the Christ, you shall see. You want to see the soul of all the prophets of the past and the present, you shall see. Because it's you then who decides how they will look and why they will be in that position. As I said many times, that I'll bring the condition that you shall see the soul of the Christ. Then you ask him, how did it feel on the cross. And let him explain. Creation of interaction of the fields in the dimension of existence has to become the next step in development of technologies for the knowledge seekers. In understanding that if you have two, you have the interaction of the fields. If you have 3 and 4, then you have the soul and manifestation of the physicality. In essence, if you understand, you can do the same. You can create field energies in a dynamic structure that you can replicate the structure and the field forces of an atom. Up to now, electrons and their movement, and protons and their movements, and neutrons and their movements have been theoretical. Now, if you understand and you can create these energy packs, then you can see the exact movement, the exact position, the exact interaction of the fields, and how and when you can change them to manifest themselves in a matter state or the field state energy. This part of the technology, to be able to understand the interaction of the field forces, is important to you because it's the way you absorb energies from the universe that you will feed yourself. The reason we start teaching and elevating this side of the technology is that when we take you to a space, as we do not bring you food and medicine, it's you who's responsible to feed yourself, to understanding how to absorb and how to feed. In a way, up to now, you went to the supermarket to pick up a cheese, to have the calcium, and to pick a banana, to have something else, and to have meat, to have something else, that when you eat the combination, your body receives the totality of the energies and the fields that it can survive the daily cycle. Now you go to the universal supermarket, where you choose which fields you need and the body needs for its existence. We have changed your super hypermarket where you pick up objects to absorb the energies, be it alive or dead or killing something to receive it, to the exchange in the supermarket of the universe. This is where we are pushing you. This is where we are encouraging you. This is where we're trying to bring mankind. This is where the teaching is pushing you. This is where I want the knowledge seekers, especially the teachers in the care society, and those of you who teach in workshops, those of you who teach across this planet, to the people who are interested to understand the work of the Creator, to show that the Creator works through the energy and transfer of the fields and not to the matter state. Now you understand. And this is what you have to push and to elevate and to bring into the understanding of the process of the new cycle. So you got to realize how you can use your soul to tap into the universal energy, that it becomes the energies that your body needs without taking more than what you need, as your body will bring the field bounces, even being lump. You can receive as much as you like, as you wish, as long as it's not poisoned. This is part of what we brought all these ganses. We didn't bring the ganses for you to mix and see what you can apply or whatever. We gave you and taught you the ganses to understand the packages of the energy and how, by looking at them, how by tapping into them, you can use the energies and the wishes to become the creator or the mover of you as an energy pack and not in a matter state. This is what the knowledge seekers in the coming weeks have to understand and start developing in a very rapid way, that in the process of the creation, in the process of developing these technologies, you become wise into what you need. As I said to a knowledge seeker, give me time. I'll bring the soul of those who carried out this atrocity last Friday to the position of the murder. And then they bring their physicality to it. And then we know who has done and who was carried away. As I said to the Iranian government officials, do not lash out as the nationals and the nation, as we will kill many fathers and sons that there's no need for. But leave it to the understanding of the new knowledge will walk the soul of those who carried, who ordered into the position that they will confess, and we shall see how it was done. We don't use science and technology to kill another scientist. We use the soul of the creator, understanding work of the soul, to bring those to justice themselves. As I said, when one shoots oneself, it's him who has to pay. When one shoots other, it becomes a murder. In the process of understanding, as I promised, I'll bring the soul of the Christ for those of who are the believers in his path to see. I shall bring the soul of those who carry this atrocity to the point where that their soul will manifest their physicality. Then there'll be no accusation, and who and where and how it was done. Even from the offices of those who planned it, thousands of kilometers away, the soul of those leaders who planned this will be present at the same time. Now you understand what is the wish, what is the process of understanding, what is to become part of the new knowledge and understanding. There is no more than the self-confession when the soul of the man brings man to the position of his misconduct through the soul of physicality. There shall be no judge and there shall be no court, as their own soul of physicality will judge their conduct. In a way, we choose to live correct, we choose to take correct amount of what we need and no more to confirm our existence in the position and the dimension as we like. In so many ways, you have to start working in understanding of the field transfer and not matter transfer, and leave the process of the change to mankind. In a way, the teachers of the Keshe society those of you who've been teaching how to make patterns, how to create condition, try now to teach the new cycle, that how to achieve the position. It is, in a way, to move the whole of the Keshe Foundation to its next step of natural process of understanding and development. In the process of becoming and understanding the totality of the creation, you have no choice, as now we have taken you and your knowledge to the next step. And in a way, you have to follow. If you come this far with us, you have to take the last step to mature your soul and your knowledge to the totality and not leave the whole halfway cooked. In a way, you have to come to understand what has been put on the table of knowledge. The knowledge was not to create a new energy system. The whole knowledge was not to create a magnet system or another patch. It was to show you to gain trust in the work, that then you can work without physicality. Try to understand the process of interaction of your soul with your solar physicality. Try to go through the barrier of needing confirmation in physicality to trust in what you do. Try to understand the process of the conversion of the energies. Try to see if I can create condition to absorb energies which I need to survive without actually eating. Then sit down and repeat the test which was done before. As you remember, you put an orange in a cup and you drank from the cup and you tasted the orange. Now you become the cup and put an orange in front of you. See and feel if you can tap into the resources of the soul of the man and not the soul of physicality, to taste, to take the energy from the orange. Now with it, you can transfer it to the soul of physicality, that you can feel every taste and energy of that orange in every cell of your body. Then you start getting prepared to become the man of the universe, where the physicality of the matter becomes non-existence. It'll take time for many of you to learn this phase, but we have started the process. And in the next 4 months, we'll push with the development, that you gain that trust that you can attain physical dimension in the reality, in the process of transfer of the energy. They'll come that when you took this energy from the orange within your soul, then through understanding of this property, if you can replicate another orange on the same table, then you understand the way we carry the energies of love and care becomes the energy essence of the creation. The whole process of the teaching from now on will go in that way. The development of the new souls that understand the process of the conversion of matter to energy in the fields and emotion, and transfer of matter and emotion energies to the matter state of manifestation, if they wish so. The place, the position, and time will be the choice of the creator and absorber of the field. In a way, we try to get the knowledge seekers to understand that they have the interaction of the two most important entities, one is the soul of the man and the soul of physicality, to create and transfer any fields across the universe, whether it be by position or by strength. And this is one of the reasons that we introduce the enhancement of it. Not at the position of curing or helping or whatever, but to enhance the power of the soul of the man, that with it, man will learn how to survive the span of universe without the food, without medicine, and without killing. As I said early past few days, I'll bring the soul of the Iranian scientist to nourish the soul of those who tried to stop the science. You took the physicality, I will return the soul. It's the soul which made that physicality. Do not be shocked when he stands in front of you, and not in one, but in multitude. Then it has to be when the man understands the position and the time is the wish of the Creator. Try to start now that you have seen the fields. Do not go for the gans of the orange, for the orange itself, but go for the energies of the gans of the orange. This is much easier. The transportation and transmutation into energy level has already been done. Try to taste the orange by looking at a cup in a field to see if you taste it, if you take the energy of it, and then repeat that with your lover to see if she can taste your love. Then you can. Then you understand the process. Then you see the truth, and nothing is hidden. Does she really love you, or is it a pretense to be there? And then the maturity of the time comes when you can keep silent and respect what you know. As I said, when it comes to space, you will not know what is in front of you except understanding the emotion. Because, like the soul of the man, is nothing but energy field. Now you will see what I teach today, what I explain today, is what has been taught for past 20 years. Now it makes sense because now you understand the process you've been through, the understanding of the fields and energies. Is not working to make things, is understanding the field transfers to find freedom of the soul, in respect of the time position, and strength. In the coming weeks, we will show you new technologies that this will become much easier to understand, that you find a medium, that it becomes easier to transfer. We gave you the orange in the matter state, so hard. We give you the GANs in the essence of the fields of the orange, which is at the strength of your soul, and you can tap into. And gradually you learn. Teach not by illusion, but teach by the knowledge and science and technology, how you can tap into the energy of the GANs in the cup, that with it, you can feel, taste what's in the cup. Could be the cup of the soul of the man. Is it love or deception? And which one do you accept? As I said, be courteous not to utter the word, I see lies. This is how, in the universal community, you decide the entity in front of you wants to eat you or wants to make love to you. Is it there by making everything available that you enjoy the existence? And that's what we call the lovemaking in the dimension of the universe. Give totality, that when you receive and achieve the fulfillment of the desire. The knowledge seekers, the path to the final destination is laid. It's you who have to find it and to be able to travel the path to reach the ultimate goal. Then in that position, once you arrive, if your wish is to feel the essence of the Creator, what you call God, will it be available to you. If you reach the point of maturity of understanding. In so many ways, I explained in so many different scientific languages to get you to the same point. And now it's time to reach that point. As I said, it's the responsibility of the knowledge seekers, teachers, and those who you teach and spread the knowledge for you to understand the work of the fields and not the matter state trying to confirm the existence. Let people see with the eye of the soul of the man, not with the eye of the physicality of the man. Let them feel the knowledge, the essence of the creation, not by seeing to believing, but in sensing, in feeling the emotion they do not need to see. Try in simple steps, in simple methods. You show them how to make ganses and patches. Now show them to put the cup there and see what they can absorb. Don't tell them, I transfer the energy of the apple in this one and the orange that one. You just put the cup and tell them, tell me what you feel. And do that with yourself. Then you don't need to kill to feed. You don't need to destroy to have. But it's given to you as you ask for and you're given. This is how the work of the universe is. When you ask and you're given, it's for you to use it to elevate your soul and the soul of the others and not but abuse it. Now, many of you need to work, need to go back to work, need to understand the work of how to go back to work. In the coming weeks, I'll teach you how simply you transfer the essence of the energy and the emotion of the orange into the water. Many of you have tried, but you cannot transmute and transport it because you missed one fundamental point. And many of you were so eager to do it that you forgot what you did. And then at the same time, what you need to remanifest the entity.
I am going to put this question in Q&A to be recorded in text as well. Mr. Keshe, in my understanding, based on all that I have followed from your teachings, what is causing this pandemic and what has been conventionally called a virus is in fact radiation. Such radiation may be spreading in the world due to the implementation of increasingly advanced telecommunications technologies like 5G, for example, through antennas and satellites, or in an intentional and controlled way by people who want to dominate humanity. I'm talking to some doctors and government officials about the possibility of seeing the patients who arrives in the hospital with symptoms of the virus as in fact, he was contaminated by radiation. So instead of using the COVID-19 ICD code, use the radiation contamination ICD. In this way, they could work within the conduct of World Health Organization. And when looking for solutions for the contamination of the patient, see the plasma water solution. My question is, would it be easier for everyone? Wouldn't it be easier for everyone to understand the function and effectiveness of plasma water if they know that the virus is actually radiation and that plasma water is a radiation neutralizer? I ask this question because I have seen that people understand a lot more when they see the problem that way. I have talked to doctors and authorities, and I realize that this may be an easier way for them to understand. I would like to know what you think about this. Thank you, Mr. Keshe.
Let me interrupt first that we have to put a disclaimer in here now that you brought that up, because that's one of the topics that YouTube does not allow to be discussed without putting a balance conversation on it and putting it in context that goes against the official line from the WHO and the other health authorities. They do not believe that the combination of 5G and the coronavirus, that there's any connection, and they do not allow any conversation about that. And they will take down this video if we do not put a disclaimer in now saying that we believe that it's that the WHO is correct in their evaluation of it, and the doctors are correct, and that we can't condone that. We can discuss it under that context, but we have to always, every time someone brings up something like that with the coronavirus, then we have to put a disclaimer in at that moment and balance it. They call it balancing out the conversation to give more emphasis on the WHO point of view. So this is just what we have to bring up now. Otherwise, we could lose this video and possibly lose the entire YouTube channel.
Yes, but the problem is that in answering the question is very simple. Viruses, as we speak in the space technology, exist right across the universe. It is not limited to a name or place. Mankind in the space will encounter only viruses, which is the energy packs which can attach themselves to the amino acid of the man. And this virus, what we call it, is the additional energy packs which can overwhelm the operation of the cells or energy packs we call cells. The structure of the viruses is so deep that mankind has not even come to understand it. And in the depth of the universe, when we get affected by these packs of energy, they can even attach themselves to the energy pack, what we call the soul of the man. Because every entity has a capability to attract, has a gravitational field forces. And every energy pack, we call it plasma, has the capability to hold on to be part of, to be, in fact, in collective interaction with the totality of the fields of the universe. We call it a virus. And in depth of the space, there is no organization to control and to decide. It's us who will decide if we need this pack of energy or we need assist for the energy to move. In this process, we have to be able to give and take, to be able to understand and create, to be able to transfer fields as energies, what we call the viruses. This position, as we see, is a beginning in the change and understanding and evolution of the science. In the coming time will change as we will see the new knowledge with the new understanding will emerge. As I said, the gagging order to speak has become international, but the beauty of it is that in 10 kilometers above this planet, there is no gagging order that you cannot speak. But the interesting point will be if we can elevate the soul of those who bring these kind of things to control, that they can do what they like. As I said, my wish is the elevation of the head of WHO, his family, the same as those who created the mayhem in the murder of a scientist. The same goes with the soul of Mr. Gate and his family and his children. In so many ways, more people will suffer because of it, one way or the other. If the governments could understand what they do, the world leaders and the presidents will not take action as they have done to their bank accounts. We shall see. As I said, is one of the pleasures. What we heard, that the government and the administration of the state of Austria has left it free to its citizens to decide if they want to take that path or not. And if the status quo stays the same with all the nations as Austria, then we decide. As long as the pressures are not there, that you can have the position and the test to be done that you can get on flights or leave the country. In that case, it'll be better for the knowledge seekers faster to learn the transmutation and transportation of the energies, that they can be in any position at any time without taking a flight. Transportation and transmutation through the energies of the soul of the man. Then Washington, Beijing is where you'd stay or where we would like to be, in and out as it suits the time and the place. I hope I answered you in a very diplomatic way about the full understanding of what you can do. Extend the knowledge of the plasma, interaction of the plasma very rapidly, then no nation, no borders, no position will be a threat to you. Doesn't matter what virus name is, and the string shall be in the space on that. Any other question?
Mr. Keshe, my condolences to the Iranian scientist. The tribute at the beginning was very beautiful, so thank you for that. And yes, it's but I'd like to move on to the fields that you're speaking about, and my understanding is that only through the soul can we understand and comprehend the field structures and interactions, or is there a mechanical means to measure that we can see physically?
You have to move from physical feeling to emotional feeling, and with it, what you receive and what changes you see. And this is what has to be. And extending the knowledge to understanding the fields and motion of the fields.
So the emotions that you speak about, I'm trying to comprehend it through our mind. Is that there is a connection between the physical, emotional, and our mind? Is that what you're saying?
In a way, yes. Of course it is.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that answers my question. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Keshe, Jenya in the Q&A has a question. I'm not sure if I can clarify correctly, but perhaps she can talk about it if possible. And she says it's concerning fields creation. Would it be enough to understand the gradual growth from early untangible elements growth all the way to tangible hydrogen, then to carbon, and all the way back as tangible radioactive elements, back to source through the inner seed gases, helium, neon, etc. I'm not sure if that made sense to you, Mr. Keshe.
Not really. Trying to think what she's trying to say.
Okay, I'll allow you to talk if you wish to open your microphone, Janya, to clarify that.
Hey everyone, Rick, Mr. Keshe, and everyone. I'm sorry to hear about bad news and my concern. I was asking, the way I see it, that hydrogen is tangible to us, but preceding hydrogen, from my understanding, there are other elements which we did not discover yet. And the understanding of their growth, of their creation, through the initial emetics that you, Mr. Keshe, were talking about. My simple question is, if I make thinking exercise with myself as the order of their creation, of their transportation from one element to another, and as I see it, at carbon, the poles, they go back, like they go through each other, and then we have more radiative aspects of matter until they digress to the radiative elements like uranium and everything else, and the other radiative elements. So if I sit with myself and gradually think thought exercise as how the neutron from the neutron, the creation of the proton and electron, and all the stages to different expressions of elements, would it be enough to understand the way the fields work so I can work with them?
I'm not sure if you're...
I'm not clear enough. I can try.
I'm not sure if
Mr.
Keshe is able to speak right now, so maybe I can ask to...
Yeah, no, what happened, I explained, I thought my microphone was open. I was asking that, what do you want to do with this? What's your intention?
My intention to have a unified perspective on how we interact with what we are doing, so we will understand and know what we are doing in the process, instead of making experiments all the time.
If you go the way we explained today, the only experiment and experience you need to do is to see how you can tap into different energies. Maybe some of us are very good and they can tap into the higher order, and some of us are carrying a different strength in our blood composition that we can tap into a lower order. But gradually, it's like eating food. We see a new food, we taste it, we find out how it's cooked and what the way it's prepared that we can enjoy it. Now we have to do the same thing and start with somewhere. Some of us will may be able to taste gold, and some of us taste hydrogen, according to the field they carry. Every element, according to its structure of manifestation, in interacting with its environment, has a taste and smell, even gold. And in essence of its color and their strength, creates a specific emotion that fits to us to have, to possess, to value. So you have to see what you want to value and how you want to value and the way you want to value something.
So you suggest to start from what I want and thinking from there?
Well, not necessarily. If you don't know how to make the recipe, it doesn't matter what you want. You might want Chinese, but you don't know how to fry, so it doesn't count. You have to be able to measure, to be tapped into it, to be able to interact with it.
Like understanding the principal mechanics of the way of creating this, and then I can translate it to any other need.
Yep, but start with the small steps. Don't go for the big. Sometimes the big is too heavy. It's an old saying. The guy who picks up the biggest stone, it shows he's not going to throw it because it's too heavy to throw. The guy who picks up a pebble is the one who hits you with it. So start with what is not too big and you can understand, and then build around it step by step. They say you pick, was it, one or two words of a language, and gradually you learn the language over years, because you'll see, you understand more and more. You got to do the same. Find the first alphabet that your emotion and your feeling and your soul can interact with, and then start building it. Don't shoot everywhere off the hip, as we say.
Yeah, my question was concerning to understanding the alphabet for that saying.
So you start somewhere. You see, when I touch cancers, people that are in the lab with me, they see, I taste them immediately. And some of them are horrible. If I come near cancers, by experience, I can say which cancer is what because of the energy field which it produces, which interacts with me in a certain level, that associate this with this and that. We had this yesterday in the lab. I just come near, I can feel, but I know what I put and what is in there that it gives me that feeling.
Yeah, in my ganses, I can find different smell of any kind of gans. So
So you associate with the smell now. You got to feel with, in essence of, smell it with the soul, if I can say so. In a way to be able to transfer that smell into the entity which you think you have created. It's a very easy.
It's like practicing.
Yep. Practice make it perfect, but you have to. A lot of people jump from everything everywhere. And then when they don't get, says, I don't feel it, so it doesn't exist. Just because you don't speak Spanish doesn't mean that the Spanish doesn't exist. A lot of knowledge seekers says, I don't feel it, so it's just your imagination. So you don't speak Spanish, how can you understand the Spanish joke?
Yeah, of course. What is
it's you who's got to learn the alphabet of the Spanish.
This makes me excited. Thank you.
Has excited the citizens of.
Do you have any
Thank you,
final
Stefania.
comments to wrap things up?
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you indeed for all your support and understanding. I hope today was a change in position and in understanding that from now on, we value our scientists the same as we value our prophets. As we heard from our Iranian colleagues, the nation of Iran, for the first time, buries its scientists alongside its religious prophets' leadership, making saint out of them, not to be a stranger, but those who give their lives in the path of knowledge and understanding the totality. Maybe with what we wish, and as we carry our wishes to the, what I call Universal Council, that through their wishes and through their conduct, we end up killing up the scientists by the governments and by institutions for financial gain, as the loss of one scientist is a loss for the whole of humanity, as they cannot add to the knowledge of the people. And in this process, to how far we can, what we call understanding our own ethos of work. And in so many ways, we have to see to what extent we can elevate the soul of the whole of humanity to respect the scientists as those who change the course of humanity for better. And at the same time, if a science is used by the world leaders to the benefit of the ruling, that science will turn out to be for the benefit of the humanity. Thank you very much for today. And I hope we start the path in teaching of how you can start feeding yourself in the universe and how you start understanding how you can tap into universal energies that become the source of your food, life, and energy anywhere in the span of universe. Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent, Mr. Keshe. Thank you once again for another Knowledge Seekers workshop here. It's been the 357th Knowledge Seekers workshop, and thank you to everyone for contributing to today's workshop, for the questions and comments.
No, dzięki, Jarku. Tutaj w zasadzie w tej części warsztatu dwa takie wiodące tematy. Pierwszym był kontynuacja tego, co się zaczęło na początku warsztatu, czyli odniesienie się do zabójstwa tego naukowca w Iranie. Cały czas tutaj przez tą część warsztatu też spływały kondolencje i te fragmenty, które tutaj pominęliśmy w tłumaczeniu, w dużej mierze obejmują właśnie tą tematykę, czyli właśnie wyrazy współczucia dla rodziny i z powodu śmierci tego naukowca. A drugi temat, który tutaj dr Keshe rozwija i zachęca do tego, żeby zacząć pracować bez ruchomych reaktorów, żeby nawet jeśli używamy tych reaktorów i tworzymy jakiś warunek, nabudowujemy gdzieś plazmę, to żeby później je wyłączyć, odstawić i pracować właśnie ze stanem niematerialnym plazmy, bo tak samo dr Keshe tłumaczy tu w odniesieniu do nas samych, że w każdym punkcie, gdzie chcemy, nie musimy się manifestować. Tak samo też jest z tym, co mówił o pomarańczy, z czuciem smaku tej pomarańczy, że nie trzeba fizycznie wkładać jej do ust, tylko można poczuć jej smak poprzez właśnie interakcję pól, poprzez karmienie się, można powiedzieć, na poziomie bardziej subtelnym niż spożywanie pokarmów stałych. I tu ta zachęta, żebyśmy w naszych eksperymentach, można powiedzieć, w pracowni plazmatycznej, tam gdzie te reaktorki się kręcą, żeby próbować pracować w ten sposób. Tak samo jak dr Keshe wcześniej nawiązywał do tej kulki, którą pokazywał, mówiąc o tym, że to zostało właśnie w takich warunkach, gdzie nie było kręcących się reaktorów dynamicznych, tylko poprzez właśnie dynamikę plazmy, dynamikę pól. Mówi tutaj o życzeniu, mówi o tym, że jesteśmy w stanie właśnie transmutować energię w materię, materię w energię, w obie te strony, żeby na przykład stworzyć jabłko w naszej dłoni z życzenia, które wypowiadamy, które formułuje się właśnie na poziomie duszy. Tak samo mówił tutaj o tym, zachęcał do tego, żeby żywić się bez spożywania pokarmów, właśnie bezpośrednio transfer tej energii do duszy fizyczności. To w zasadzie tyle, jeśli chodzi o tematykę drugiej części warsztatu. Jeśli ktoś ma ochotę się podzielić swoimi doświadczeniami, chociażby na tym polu zabawy w plazmie niefizycznej, tej bardziej subtelnej, można powiedzieć, to zapraszam do podzielenia się, bo wydaje się, że jest to dobra chwila do tego, żeby ten temat rozwinąć i śledzić w tym temacie. Dzięki.
Dzięki, Przemku. Jeśli nie ma dzisiaj nikogo, kto chciałby coś powiedzieć, to ja zachęcam do praktycznej, jakby to powiedzieć, sceny, którą kreujemy. Eksperymentowanie z tym, co tu zostało powiedziane i co niektórzy pewnie odczują to, że ta kotara myślenia, które było wcześniej, poszerzyła się do tego, że my możemy kreować to w przestrzeni. Brzmi to trochę czarodziejsko, ale myślę, że na czas, który tak myślimy, z biegiem czasu staje się to normalnością, tak więc zachęcam do praktyki. No i dzielenia się wiedzą z innymi i oczywiście po tych doświadczeniach, po tych praktycznych warsztatach, do dzielenia się tutaj u nas na kolejnych warsztatach, które będą już w czwartek. Tak więc zapraszam do bycia z nami. Życzę dobrej nocy i do usłyszenia. Dzięki za przetłumaczenie jeszcze.
Nadszedł czas zmiany, przejścia do prawdziwego działania wszechświata. I nadszedł czas, aby zrozumieć, że używamy stanu materii, by osiągnąć poziom zrozumienia duszy człowieka. Teraz rozumiesz, być może, dlaczego Kreator wysłał swoich posłańców w imię tego, co miałeś. To oni przynoszą uszy, aby można było ich użyć, gdy nadejdzie czas Mesjasza. Mogę nauczyć duszę i przesłanie. Nie by się przeciwstawiać, ale poprzez ich zrozumienie, przez tych, którzy stali się Mesjaszami, aby dawać ze swoich dusz, aby ich elewować. Zadanie stało się łatwe. Szkoła jest tutaj i uczniowie są tutaj w oddaniu. Wtedy nie będzie żadnej walki między tym, co nazywają muzułmanami, a chrześcijanami. Baranek i lew będą jeść i spać w tym samym gnieździe. Chrześcijanie i muzułmanie będą spać i modlić się w meczecie, w tym samym kościele, w imię ich dusz, nie w imię religii, które są używane do tworzenia tak wielu konfliktów, dla korzyści tych, którzy byli hiperaktywnymi dziećmi. Nadszedł czas, czas zmian jest tutaj. I jak powiedziałem, moje życzenie jest moim rozkazem. Jeśli pragniesz ujrzeć pokój, droga pokoju jest wyłożona bardzo wyraźnie. To dusza świadomości zbiorowej. poprzez dawanie stworzy tą pozycję zmiany. Nic innego. W duszy człowieka nie ma długopisu. Jestem pewien, że po wejściu do społeczności uniwersalnej nigdy nie zobaczysz niczego zapisanego, ale równowagę pól duszy egzystencji. Staraj się być na tyle pokornym, aby nie stać się aroganckim w mocy, którą zrozumiałeś i posiadłeś. Inaczej wpadniesz w tą samą ścieżkę kościoła i meczetu. To jest to, co obiecaliśmy i to właśnie dostarczyliśmy. Musimy zrozumieć działanie duszy i musimy zrozumieć, że dusza człowieka jest gwiazdą w kosmosie wszechświata. Jeśli porównamy duszę człowieka i tak wielu nas, 7 miliardów w jednym zbiorze, Ziemia jest jak galaktyka z tak wieloma gwiazdami. Kiedy patrzymy w głąb wszechświata, widzimy galaktyki z setkami milionów gwiazd. Podobnie jest z planetą Ziemią. Niesie 7 miliardów pięknych gwiazd, które są duszą człowieka. Niesie z sobą duszę tak wielu trylionów zwierząt, roślin i wszystkiego innego. Jeśli więc patrzą ci, którzy nie widzą fizyczności Ziemi i jej zawartości, co widzą? Widzą galaktykę z wielką ilością pięknych, świecących świateł. Każda według swojej siły. Każda zgodnie ze swoją pozycją. Niemowlę ma piękną duszę, podobnie jak staruszek. Dla tych niefizycznych, którzy nie widzą fizycznego wymiaru tej planety, ale widzą siłę pola, jesteśmy gromadami gwiazd. Ludzka rasa, każda pojedyncza dusza, nikt z daleka nie widzi. To jest dusza rybaka, to jest dusza kosmologa, to jest dusza prezydenta. Wszystkie świecą bez względu na fizyczność. To jest magia. Oto, co nowa nauka musi przynieść człowiekowi. Kiedy patrzymy przez naszą duszę, widzimy tylko gwiazdy w innych duszach. I to jest przełom. To jest zrozumienie. Na tym właśnie polegają te wszystkie nauki. Dojście do dojrzałości następnego poziomu, aby zrozumieć daleki kosmos. Wszechświat jest ostrygą dla tych dusz, które służą. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy do wejścia w kosmos. Wtedy człowiek jest gotowy, aby stać się częścią uniwersalnej społeczności, która została obiecana. Nigdy nie obiecywałem wam nieba. Zawsze obiecywałem wam elewację człowieka, aby przyłączył się do rodziny. A teraz macie klucz. To wy musicie otworzyć drzwi, aby zrozumieć, że mogę elewować duszę tych ludzi lub milionów innych dusz. Że fizyczne życie na tej planecie zmieni się. Wtedy jestem godny bycia częścią społeczności uniwersalnej. By być, aby służyć, aby się rozwijać, by być tam, aby być częścią, że w cyklu życia wszechświata staje się w byciu częścią, staje się częścią totalności. Kiedy człowiek osiągnie ten punkt, pojawi się nowy wymiar w sile duszy człowieka, który jest poza wyobrażeniem zrozumienia życia fizycznego. To jest brama do otwarcia nowego życia w nowym wymiarze. co jest poza wyobrażeniem tego, co mogliście nazwać nowym początkiem, nowym cyklem, gdzie ten cykl niesie ze sobą źródło stworzenia życia we wszechświecie i unikosie. To jest elewacja duszy, aby służyć. Stała się kluczem. Nie tron życia fizycznego. Czas jest odpowiedni, nadszedł czas, aby człowiek przeszedł przez ten proces.